Are you ready to dive into the dark world of Pablo Escobar? Like and subscribe to this channel. Cocaine, carnage, and cash, a glimpse into the Escobar era. This was a time when the streets of Colombia were both vibrant and deadly, a paradox of life and death intertwined. The air crackles with tension. A siren wails in the distance. The night is alive with the sounds of a city on edge, where danger lurks around every corner. Money, mountains of it being counted, laundered, hidden. This was the lifeblood of Escobar's empire, fueling a network that spanned continents and corrupted countless souls. We are in the heart of Medellín, Colombia, the stomping ground of Pablo Escobar, the world's most notorious drug lord. Here, he built an empire that defied governments and terrorized a nation. The stench of fear and cocaine hangs heavy in the air. Fast cars, beautiful women, unimaginable wealth. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the glamour lay a world of unimaginable brutality. Beneath the surface lies a brutal reality, a world of violence, corruption, and death. Escobar's reign was marked by bloodshed and betrayal, where loyalty was bought and lives were expendable. This is the story of Pablo Escobar, a man who went from petty thief to cocaine kingpin, ruling his empire with an iron fist. His journey from obscurity to infamy is a tale of ambition, ruthlessness, and power, a man who terrorized a nation and became a legend in his own lifetime. His name became synonymous with fear, and his legacy continues to haunt Colombia to this day. Buckle up. This is a journey into the heart of darkness, a story of power, greed, and the human cost of one man's insatiable ambition. From petty thief to cocaine kingpin, the genesis of a criminal mastermind is a tale of ambition, ruthlessness, and an unyielding drive for power. Pablo Escobar's story begins not in the opulent mansions and clandestine airstrips of his later years, but on the rough streets of Medellín. Born into poverty, Escobar quickly learned that survival meant taking what you could, when you could. The harsh realities of his environment shaped his early years, instilling in him a fierce determination to rise above his circumstances. His journey from a small-time thief to the head of a vast criminal empire was marked by a series of calculated moves and an unrelenting pursuit of wealth and power. Escobar's early exploits involved petty theft and carjacking, but it wasn't long before he set his sights on more lucrative ventures. The streets of Medellín were a harsh teacher, and Escobar was a quick learner. He understood that to survive and thrive, he needed to be both cunning and ruthless. Petty theft led to carjacking, which then escalated to something far more sinister: cocaine. The drug trade offered unimaginable profits, and Escobar was determined to seize the opportunity. The 1970s saw the rise of cocaine consumption in the United States, creating a booming market for the illicit drug. Escobar, with his entrepreneurial spirit and utter ruthlessness, was perfectly positioned to exploit this burgeoning market. He started small, smuggling cocaine paste from neighboring countries, but his ambition knew no bounds. Escobar soon realized that controlling the entire supply chain, from production in the coca fields to smuggling routes into the US, was the key to amassing unimaginable wealth and power. His rise to power was meteoric. Escobar's ruthlessness was legendary. He eliminated rivals with chilling efficiency, bribed officials with ease, and instilled fear in anyone who dared to cross him. His message was clear: plata o plomo, silver or lead, accept my bribe or face the consequences. This brutal approach ensured his dominance in the drug trade and cemented his reputation as one of the most feared and powerful criminals in history. Escobar's empire grew rapidly, fueled by his strategic alliances and his ability to outmaneuver law enforcement. He built a vast network of smuggling routes, using everything from small planes to submarines to transport his illicit cargo. His ambition knew no bounds. Escobar's influence extended beyond the drug trade. He wielded significant political power, using his wealth to buy loyalty and silence opposition. He soon realized that controlling the entire supply chain, from production in the coca fields to smuggling routes into the US, was the key to amassing unimaginable wealth and power. And amass he did. Escobar's empire was built on a foundation of violence and corruption. He used his vast resources to bribe officials, intimidate rivals, and eliminate threats. His reign of terror left a lasting impact on Colombia and the world. Despite his criminal activities, Escobar was seen by some as a Robin Hood figure, using his wealth to build schools, hospitals, and housing for the poor. This duality made him a complex and controversial figure. He eliminated rivals with chilling efficiency, bribed officials with ease, and instilled fear in anyone who dared to cross him. The Medellín Cartel, a reign of terror and extravagance that left an indelible mark on Colombia's history. By the early 1980s, Pablo Escobar was no longer just a drug trafficker. He had become a symbol of both fear and fascination. He was a force of nature, a man whose influence extended far beyond the drug trade. Escobar had assembled a formidable army of Sicarios, loyal assassins who operated with brutal efficiency, carrying out his orders without question. Judges, politicians, journalists, anyone who dared to oppose him met a swift and brutal end. The fear he instilled was palpable and his reach seemed limitless. His reign of terror plunged Colombia into its darkest chapter, a period marked by violence, corruption, and despair. Yet, amidst the bloodshed, Escobar cultivated a Robin Hood image, building schools and hospitals in impoverished neighborhoods. He provided for the poor, earning their loyalty and admiration. He was a paradox, a ruthless killer who was hailed as a savior by some. His duality was both his strength and his downfall. Escobar even harbored political ambitions, dreaming of becoming the president of Colombia. His influence was so vast that he believed he could reshape the nation. Escobar's wealth was as staggering as his brutality. He amassed billions of dollars, making him one of the richest men in the world. He owned lavish estates, a private zoo filled with exotic animals, and even his own fleet of aircraft. His lifestyle was a testament to his immense power and wealth. His life was a surreal mix of extravagant parties, bloody vendettas, and a constant game of cat and mouse with the authorities. The world watched in both horror and awe as Escobar's empire grew, leaving a legacy that would be remembered for generations. The Colombian government, under immense pressure from the United States, finally began to push back against Escobar's reign of terror. A special police unit, Search Block, was formed with the sole purpose of bringing him to justice. The streets of Medellín became a battleground, with bombings and assassinations becoming commonplace. Escobar, however, was a master manipulator. He responded to the government's crackdown with even more violence, unleashing a wave of terror that shook the nation. Car bombs exploded in city centers, passenger planes were blown out of the sky, and innocent people were caught in the crossfire. The war against Escobar was not just fought with bullets and bombs, it was a battle for the soul of Colombia, a fight against the pervasive corruption that had allowed Escobar to thrive. As the net tightened, Escobar was forced into hiding. Gone were the days of lavish parties and public appearances. He became a ghost, moving from one safe house to another, always looking over his shoulder. The pressure was taking its toll, his paranoia grew, and he became increasingly isolated from even his closest allies. Yet, even in hiding, Escobar remained a formidable enemy. He continued to run his empire from the shadows, using a network of loyal followers to maintain control. The Colombian government and the DEA were relentless in their pursuit, but Escobar always seemed to be one step ahead. He was a master of evasion, using a combination of brutality, cunning, and the fear he instilled to stay alive. But how long could he outrun his fate? Like and subscribe to this channel.